Brought to you by Hug House Productions.
Hello, my friends. Meow, 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 meow. So here's the deal. Everybody's sick. Like, all the time, everybody's sick. So I have a little bit of a lull here between recordings of episodes for you. I'm so sorry. But I'm making up for that with some really fun shit that I hope you enjoy. So first off, today I've got for you my live reactions for book 15. Now, usually these are Patreon exclusive, and this did come out first on Patreon, but I'm sharing it here for two reasons. One, as a little thank you, I'm sorry for not having a completely new episode for you today. Two, because book 15 is so fucking good. I was not ready. I was not ready. Usually my live reacts are not 2 hours long, but this one really earned it. I'm not even splitting it up into 2 episodes for you. You can have the whole fucking thing right now. This book is so fucking good. So I thought that it would be fun. I liked this live react a lot. I had a really good time. It's so good. God, this book is so good. It really came for my ass. Next would be an off week, but I'm going to feed drop Max Kreisky's podcast I talked about in the last episode. It's so fun. You are going to love it, genuinely. I know that a lot of people skip feed swaps. Please don't. Like, they're all... I swear to you, I do this for a living. I literally set up promo swaps and feed swaps for a living. And I only do them when they're actually genuinely really fucking good matches. Please give it a listen. After that, I think I'm gonna have some like really fun, silly little bonuses, kind of based on Haley Whipjack on YouTube does these like tier rankings for Baldur's Gate characters, but all of the categories are like insane, and I think that would be really fun. And there might be some other Patreon exclusive releases down the line. We'll see. So thank you. I'll be back with new episodes proper soon. Thanks for listening. Have fun in your life. Have a fun life. Try to have fun. Try to have fun out there right now. Are you having fun? Are you having fun? Sorry. Enjoy the episode. Okay, bye. Okay, it's been approximately 4,000 years. I'm so fucking excited to read another one of these books that might be good. The last one drove me up the wall. It drove me up the wall. So it was funny, though. So we are just getting started. I have just now found the title. It is The Escape. This is a Marco book, I believe. I'm literally opening it for the first time right now. I've not even looked at it. Oh, it looks like there's a Megamorphs coming up soon. That's interesting. Okay, let's see. Where's your cover? Okay, yes, that is Marco turning into a hammerhead shark. I love a sharky. I'm really nervous about this one. There has been some reactions to others reading it in the Discord. I'm a little scared that a whale is going to appear, but we'll see. Okay, loading it up. Okay, notes document made. I'm about to dive in. For folks who are listening to this on the Patreon feed but aren't in the Discord, just as a heads up, as I read these and write my notes, I'm doing that live, like in the Discord with people, which is very fun, if you want to join there. Anyway, my listening music today is James Blake. I've been on a big James Blake kick. Willow came out with a new album, but I have not hit it yet because I'm too nervous, which apparently is an OCD thing. I'm like too worried I'm gonna listen to it wrong. So I'm hitting some old James Blake because his new album is going to come out soon, but hasn't yet. And he released some singles beforehand, so I already kind of know what's coming, and I don't feel like I'm gonna fuck it up. I'm specifically listening to the albums Assume Form and Friends That Break Your Heart. Overgrown is maybe my favorite by him. I think that Friends That Break Your Heart is maybe his best so far. But I never really hit these two albums because I loved Overgrown so much that when I wanted to listen to James Blake, I wanted that to be the vibe. But I really love his other work. It's just not what I turned to, but now is the time. Now is the time. This is not important. Let's start reading this Marco Sharkey book. Yeah. Okay. Baby boy Marco time. Okay. Interesting. So we're starting off and it's the typical intro, but instead of it, he talks about his name. He just says that he's always liked his name, makes him think of Marco Polo. He says, not that my last name is Polo. Or maybe it is. I'm not going to tell you. I love him. I've missed him. My horrid little baby boy. Kind of zooming through this exposition. 'Tis the same. Oh, and here we go. He pivots here from saying, like, it's not always dangerous, it can be fun, and in fact, right now, it is going to be fun. They are at the mall, typical Animorphs, chilling out, having fun. Okay, I'm back to, so we're not gonna have a conversation about Tobias. I guess we're not gonna have a conversation about Tobias. Okay. Oh shit, this is a new mall. Ooh, it's a big mega mall. Fancy. Whoa, it was Cassie's idea. What the fuck? Okay, Axe is here in human morph. And so is Tobias. So, okay. Marco says Tobias has regained his ability to morph now, but he's still a red-tailed hawk. This sentence, I'm 4% into this book, and the sentence has broken me. Fuck. I don't have time to unpack this right now. I have a whole rest of the book to read. Okay. Okay. They're not even, I can't get over it. You can't just say that and move on to talking about what Axe is. You can't. The only thing he says is, I don't know if I'd have been tough enough to make that choice, to live as a hawk and keep his morphing power. That's it. Okay. You can do this. It's not just like the most important fucking thing to any of the characters has happened in the... It's fine. You can do this. Be strong. You can do this. Be strong. This is a new book. You have to keep reading. Now is not the time. Will shut up. Okay, that's my notes. Oh shit, they're in the Rainforest Cafe! Incredible. That's hilarious. That's so fucking hilarious. That's so fucking funny that they're there. Why does Hug House always circle back to Rainforest Cafe? Okay, and there's also real parrots. And Cassie is pissed off that people are like poking the parrots. Don't poke the parrots. Parrots are fucking assholes. They'll bite at you. They don't give a fuck. They'll bite at you. Okay, so this annoyed Cassie so bad that she came to Marco and asked him for help. Does she know? Is she playing dumb here? Okay, so she comes up to Marco, of all fucking people, and she's like, Marco, I'm sad about this occurrence. Do you have any ideas? They can talk. And Marco's like, yeah, I have an idea. And Cassie's like, oh, good. I didn't know who else might have an idea. Cassie, girl, I think you know what you're doing here. And I support it. Okay, so now they're in line in front of the parrots, and some kid is being a little shit-heel kid and telling the parrots to say Howard Stern rules. Ew. And they're all also looking at this kid like, ew. Marco says. So Rachel is getting pissed off at this shit-heel kid. And Marco says, Rachel has an occasional problem with anger. Yeah, girl. Oh, God. Marco, like, gets Rachel not to be, like, fucking insane and a total, like, fandom. Listen, you know what? This is my first book after Heated Rivalry Psychosis. I'm 15 books into the series. I have a podcast about it. I'm just gonna lean in. I'm gonna be fucking insane. Okay, so Marco understands Rachel as she is, and I think that Tobias sees Rachel for who Rachel wishes she was, which are two very different things, and I think that they should be in a polycule. I think that both of those things are really necessary for growth and for healthy relationships. And I don't think that you should have to rely on one partner to see all of those different sides of you. And I think that they should be in a polycule. As I was saying in the Discord chat, I do think that Marco, because he is in love with Jake, obviously, will look at Tobias and eventually realize that that is a Jake that Marco thinks that he will be able to fix with his manic pixie dream girl goofball tendencies. Something is wrong with me. Fundamentally. Okay. So they brought Axe here, which is foolish because this is a restaurant. He's already like, they got fucking cinnamon buns here? And they're like, no. And Jake is like, we could go to Cinnabon after, which Marco says that he says in his talking to lunatics voice. Marco is singing the Mission Impossible theme song as they are trying to pull off this mission to get these parrots' dignity back. So, you know, they do their thing. They follow a handler. They wait. They get the DNA, and they're going to go morph the parrots and probably yell at some patrons. End of chapter 1. Okay, chapter 2. Introduction to morphing. As you do. His skin turns green first. Is that... Hold on. What color is parrot skin? Now, I know that parrots got feathers with colors. But I do not think that their skin is green. I think that their skin is bird color. No feathers. Like, what's a bald ass pigeon look like? Yeah, he's bird color. Baby pigeon looks like a rotisserie chicken. Raw. So I guess just an unrotisserie chicken. Okay. Yeah, he's just bird colored. So I don't think that that's how that would happen, but that's okay. I'm not an Andalite. I don't know their science. Don't love that he calls the beak the color of old man fingernails, and I especially don't love that because it's accurate. He comments on how, like, the parrot can think. Like, it has cognition. It's not as intelligent as a gorilla or a dolphin, which, like, duh. But he realizes that not only can it think, it can also feel. He can, like, feel parrot emotions. And Marco comments on this, and he's like, oh, this is why you're pissed off. And Cassie's like, yeah, this is why I'm pissed off. They're so stupid. They're such kids. This is great. So they go out to the perch as these parrots and just start talking shit about them. And many of the people do leave. They're not thrilled with this. Oh, and now they're just making fun of people. Now they're just making fun of people saying that somebody's hair is a toupee. Oh, I stopped breathing. Okay, so Eric's here, pretty much, is what's going on here. Okay. Chapter 3. Let's go. I'm not ready for this. Okay. So he's explaining what the Pemalites are. Unfortunately, I know this very deeply. You remember how fucked up that book was? Oh my god, I'm not fucking ready. Okay, it's fine. So Eric waits until they're done with their little stunt, and then the group breaks up so that they don't look as much like a group walking together. This is like an important way that they keep somewhat stealthy when they're in public places like the mall. They don't want to seem like they're all best friends together constantly. So Eric goes and joins up with Jake and Marco and says hello, and they're kind of wary about him given all of the bloodshed, which I think is fair. And so they're like, hey, how you doing? And he's like, okay, how you doing? And he says that through his sources, that he finds that they've been doing some good work against the Yeerks, and he asks for some privacy. And then things shimmer, and it's just like quiet. Like there's no sounds of them all, and he is back in his Dougie bot form. And he extended his hologram around so that people will just see them as like security guards talking. And Marco is like, okay, if he's going to all of this trouble, that this can't be just like a little catch-up chat. God damn it. Fuck. Okay, so Eric is like, hey, good job freeing those two Hork-Bajir. This could be like actually like really impactful. This could be the first step towards freeing all of them. Anyway, Marco, I gotta talk to you. Private. And he was like, I don't have any secrets from Jake, my boyfriend. And Eric is like, it's maybe like a little personal. It's maybe like about someone you used to know. And Marco is like, oh, my mom. And Eric looks at Jake, and Jake is like, it's cool. I know. I'm the only one who does know. Okay. Okay. So his mom is back on Earth. She's leading a new project. It's going to be run from the waters around Royan Island. I don't know what that is. Is that real? Is that a real place? Royan. I don't think it is. I mean, it is, but not in the States. Okay, so this could be anywhere. And Marco is fully dissociated. He's like, he's just like not processing anything as soon as Eric said that the mom is back. So Jake is asking questions, and he's like, well, what's the deal? And they're like, we don't know. And he's like, why are they in the ocean? And he's like, oh, we don't know. And Eric says, like, whatever she's doing, it has to be a pretty fucking big deal because she's Visser 1, and Visser 3 is pissed about it. Because they're memories. And Eric is like, listen, that's basically all we have. We really didn't know whether or not to tell you. We've been looking for information, and this is pretty much it. But I felt like Marco had a right to know, which is really sweet. I really like Eric as a character. And Eric is like, okay, you don't know what Visser 1 is like. And Marco is like, the fuck I don't? And Eric is like, that's not your mama. That's not your mama. She just has your mama face. You know this. And he's like, listen, because you love her, you might fuck up, which is like classic Animorph shit. I think that Marco has even had this conversation with Jake about Tom, his brother. And Marco is getting pissed. But he knows that he can't throw a punch because, like, that's a robot. A new species of controller? What are you talking about? Okay, so now there's a new species of controller called Lyrans? Okay. And Eric asks Jake, will he be all right? As in, like, will Marco be all right? And Marco is just like, no. Nope. And he leaves, which is fair. And Jake is like, dude, he's an alien. He was not meaning to be offensive. You know that. And Marco is like, I fucking know, but this sucks. This sucks. This sucks. Which is, I don't know. It's wild for him to be. I get it. He's baby boy. He's processing. But, like, yeah, Jake knows how this goes. Jake knows. Oh my god, that's the end of chapter. Jesus fuck. Okay, so they're reporting back to Axe, and Axe is like, yeah, I know what a Lyran is. Where the fuck did you hear that word? It's the next day after school. They're out in the woods. Marco wants to talk to Axe alone. And Marco is really like, he really doesn't want to tell the others about this. One, because it's like hard. That's really hard. And two, because he doesn't want them to pity him and to he doesn't want them to see through his humor as a coping mechanism. Fuck. Don't do this to me right now. Don't do this to me right now. He says, I didn't want their pity. I still don't. I'm a joker. I'm a comedian. That's how I deal with life. See, I've always believed that to some extent you get to decide for yourself what your life will be like. You can either look at the world and say, oh, isn't it all so tragic, so grim, so awful? Or you can look at the world and decide that it's mostly funny. Once again, I claim him for the Geminis. I don't want to talk about it. You don't know me. If you step far back enough from the details, everything gets funny. Oh, Jesus fucking fuck. Okay. Gee, come on. We'll just read this chapter intro while recording. Jesus fuck. God damn it, LMAO. What the fuck? Bullets? Bulleted list. Can you please fucking format? Okay. Ah, shit. And he says, oh, God, fucking. But humor kind of breaks down when the tragedy gets up close and personal. See, I saw what my mom's death did to my dad. Death in scare quotes. But you know what? There wasn't anything funny about it. Okay, see, Marco, you just gotta step up your game. Anything, especially when it's up close and personal, can be funny. Come on, Marco. By the time you're 16, you'll understand. It can be funny. And by the time you're 30-something, it's all funny. And you don't have to think about anything forever. And your therapist is fine with that. They don't say anything about it. They don't say anything about it. Okay, so Marco is like, can you just fucking tell me what you know about the Lyrans? And Axe is like, well, how do you know? And he's like, can you just fucking tell me? And Axe is still like being pretty secretive with human people, which makes sense. And so he's explaining that they are sentient amphibians. They live in oceans. And he's just learned that in school. He hasn't met a Lyran. And they're not allowed on the Andalite world? Okay, why? What? Oh, okay. So he says they're not dangerous. They're just kind of embarrassing. Because they are purportedly psychic, which means they can read minds. Man, that's not a good one for my little secret keeper. Oh, and they have like military secrets. I guess there's also that. So Marco's like, yeah, Eric said that the Yeerks and Lyrans are working together on something, and Axe is like, that doesn't fucking make sense. What? They wouldn't invade the Lyran world because the Lyrans are psychic. They would immediately know if one of them was a controller. And Marco is like, okay, but then you would have, if you could make a controller out of one of them, you've got a psychic controller. And he says they would be able to root out spies, Axe does, and sense traitors. And Marco says, and they'd definitely be able to find out who we are, because they would see right through an animal morph. They would just know. He sees perhaps Tobias, a hawk at least, approaching. So he says, I guess it doesn't matter. He's like laughing things off, saying that the irony gods wait for the chance to twist your life around. Mr. Cool and Detached ends up being the object of pity. Great, perfect, shut the fuck up. And Axe is like, this is funny? And Marco is like, yeah, if it were happening to somebody else, it'd be hysterical. End of chapter. God, I fucking love Marco. Okay, chapter 5. So Marco says they have to do it and figure out what the fuck is going on. But he doesn't want the others to know about his mom, which is really so fair. So it's a small private island, about 20 miles off the coast. Okay. They're in Cassie's barn Saturday morning. And he's already like snapping at Rachel. Oy, oy, oy. So Marco's like, yeah, so we can't get close to them because of the psychic. And Jake is like, how near is near? And Axe is like, I don't know. Couple feet? I don't know. So Tobias says, not everyone has a dolphin morph. I can fly cover. And Cassie is raising an eyebrow at Tobias, and Marco's also thinking the same thing, that like, now that he has his morphing power back, he doesn't really want to morph. I would assume that like, yeah, that would probably be pretty fucking scary. He got trapped in the last one. He doesn't want to get trapped in something worse than a hawk, and he likes being a hawk. So they're gonna morph sharks and dolphins, because Axe has the shark morph. And Tobias is like denying that he doesn't want to morph, but like whatever. And Jake is like, you could fly out to the gardens and get a dolphin morph. And he's like, yeah, but I have to be in my own body to do that. And my own body is a hawk now. So like, a hawk flying down and landing on a dolphin, kind of sus. But then Tobias is like, no, that's actually probably pretty smart. I should do that. He's fucking stressed. And he's babbling, and that's usually not, oh. Whoa, okay, interesting. It's not that he's scared of morphing. He's scared of the water. And he says, well, it's just that there's not air in the water. Which isn't necessarily true, but I understand what he means. And people are like pushing him. And Rachel's like, can we all stop ganging up on Tobias for 5 fucking seconds? And Tobias is like, it's cool, it's fine, it's cool, I'll do it, it's fine, it's cool. And Marco is like, not gonna lie, this kind of made me feel better. Misery loves company. Okay, so they're gonna go seagulls, wait, dolphin. End of chapter. Okay, chapter 6. Okay, so there are seagulls, you know, as they do. Oh, okay, so they're going with Tobias for him to get the dolphin morph. That's probably good. Having backup is probably a good idea. They also got Tobias a gull morph. There was an injured one at the barn, so it was fine. Oh, no, I lied. I'm sorry. Axe also got a gull morph. Tobias, they said that he already has enough to deal with acquiring a dolphin, so no one suggested he do a gull too. Got it. Tobias is like, ew, I can't believe I'm flying with seagulls. Gross. What lowlifes. Marco is like thrilled that they're just getting in without having to pay. This is also what I would use this power for. They're flying towards a roller coaster and they're just like flying alongside the roller coaster, and nope, they are landing and riding the roller coaster as birds and having a great time. Okay. This is just Marco and Jake. They're on a little date, to be clear. Huh. Uh, okay. So Marco then gets really serious and he's like, hey, we're still the same people we are, right? Nothing can change who you are forever, right? And Jake is like, nah, man, you're still you at the end of the day. I'll still think of you as punk. And Marco's like, okay, good. And they're gonna go watch Tobias do his thing. That was the whole chapter. Okay. Okay, chapter 7. Yeah. Okay. So this is kind of what I expected, is that Tobias does not have hands. He has talons. And he's going to have to get that dolphin DNA with his talons. Okay. They're also going on a Saturday amusement park day. He says early, so it wasn't full, but it's busy. Okay. So Tobias is diving down from the sky. Yeah. And so Tobias, attacks the dolphin with his talons. And the crowd is like, oh no. Go. This is crazy. What? Oh my god, he's stuck in the dolphin flesh. No. No. So he's stuck and the dolphin went back under. No. Okay, but apparently the dolphin isn't like really hurt, which I guess makes sense. They've got like really thick skin and blubber and whatever. So the dolphin is just like playing. Like jumping up out of the water and diving back in, back and forth. And Tobias is like, I am going to die. I am going to drown to death. We all yelled helpful advice. Hold your breath. Gee, really? Do you think? Hold my breath? Oh my god. So Tobias is acquiring the DNA, but the dolphin is not in a trance like usual. And so Marco's gonna go dive in and help as a seagull. Guys, this is so obvious. You're being so obvious. Oh god, the dolphin's gonna try to go through the hoop with the hawk on his back, and the hawk gonna get smack squish, and the hawk is Tobias. Okay. Just in time, Marco knocks him up off of the dolphin. End of chapter. Okay. Okay, chapter 8. So everybody's in a pretty decent mood except for Tobias, which is understandable. And Tobias is being very sarcastic, as is his way. And Marco is like, are you going to be sarcastic the whole day? And Tobias is like, yeah, the fuck I am. Excuse me? And Marco is like, yeah, okay. And it kind of makes him feel better because then he doesn't have to think about his mom. They're shooting the shit, joking back and forth. Marco's being like, ooh, you could be like a dolphin rodeo with you as a hawk. And Tobias is like, I will end you. So they spot the island really quick. It's a dark, lumpy silhouette on the horizon. Okay. Pine trees gnarled by exposure to ocean winds and tall grass with sprinkles of wildflowers. They are Seattling me. The fuck is a cigarette boat? The fuck is a cigarette boat? Cigarette boat. The fuck is a cigarette boat? Oh. Okay. That does not really look much like a cigarette. That looks much more like a pen. But okay. Anyway, that's there. It's a cigarette boat. And Rachel is like, so that's Mr. Royan. And he says the original Royan was a bootlegger in the 20s. Sick. Now the house is owned by a Marquez family. So they're landing as far from the house as they can on the island. They all come out of morph except for Tobias, who's keeping cover. And he says there are people in the house. There's some on the roof. Guard at the dock, and they're both carrying concealed weapons. Okay. So they're like, ooh, guards. Interesting. And Rachel is like, they're just rich. Like, it could mean nothing. And Jake is like, yeah, like Eric said it's underwater, so probably let's go underwater. Marco is making let's get physical, let's get fishical puns. Sure. Everyone is so fucking annoying right now, and they're all annoying each other. They're all very tense. Morphing the dolphin, getting in the water. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. So they're morphing, and he's like half fish, half guy. And he says, good grief, I'm a mermaid. And then it says that he's trying to talk underwater so they can't hear him. But what they do hear is bloop, bleep, bloim, bloop, blum, blum. Bloop, bleep, bloim, bl, blum, blay. Oh, that's Willbait right there. So Axe morphs his hammerhead shark, and the first time that Marco morphed a dolphin, a tiger shark almost got him. I totally forgot about that. That was fucked up. That was really fucked up. That was bad. And so Marco is a little stressed. And after they morphed, that's pretty much it. Okay, chapter 9. So they're just gonna circle the island for a bit, maybe. Marco's having a good time. Dolphin morph is good. You know, they're always having fun. They're doing some good old echolocation. And he hits Axe shark body, and he's like, oh, I don't like it. I don't like it. And he's just trying to not think about it. Tobias is in there with them, and he's like, yeah, let's do a race. Let's race around. And they're like, oh, okay. So you're not scared of the water right now? And he's like, no, I'm not scared of anything. This is sick. This rules. I'm happy for him. Good job, Tobias. So they're racing, except for Axe, who is, slower. Yep. And they're sort of just circling around and being like, wee, yay. And Marco realizes that he hasn't done echolocation in a sec, so he does it. And then he's like, what's that? And Jake is like, what? And he's like, do the thing. And Jake is like, whoa. So that's not great. It's not natural. They're going to go see. Hard surfaces and sharp edges, and it was huge. Not great. And Marco is now coming to terms with like, shit, this is really real. They're using the chi trick of the extended hologram to make it look like it's a normal seabed. So it's not visible. But there is a structure here. And Jake is like, well, is it just a hologram or also a force field? And Axe is like, a hologram that big is way too much energy. Oh, and he says, but a force field would take the energy level of a dome ship. So they're heading towards it, swimming past like the hologram past the hologram, it seems like. Pink shaded structure. Is pink. 3 big openings, each big enough to drive a dump truck through. 2 closed by steel doors, 3rd open, dark tunnel. And there's like porthole kind of windows. And ew, Marco calls them transparent blisters. Gross. And he says that he sees people like seemingly working normal office jobs. He says a Dilbert looking place. Rest in peace as you sack of shit. Not Marco. The Dilbert guy. He's dead. There's Hork-Bajir there as well. Well, Hork-Bajir controllers. Don't stop calling them blisters. So they found it, and so they're like, what the fuck? What do we do now? So they go and fill up their lungs with air and then dive back down. Except for Axe, who can stay under because he's a sharky. Okay. Okay, so Axe, I forgot. Axe is not a hammerhead shark. He is a whole different kind of shark. And now there are hammerheads headed towards them. Axe is the one who notices. Um, uh-oh. And Marco starts panicking. End of chapter. No turning back, no backing down. Chapter 10. Why did I say it like that? I thought I was being funny, but I think I actually just hated that. I'm going to read through chapter 15 today, as I usually try to do on the first day of reading one of these books. Stop saying shit crazy. You know who you are. You only say shit crazy. Okay, chapter 10. Oh my god, there's like 10 hammerhead sharks against 5 dolphins and a tiger shark. Ugh. Hooray. Marco says, there are times when I really admire Rachel's reckless courage. But there are other times I just want to slap her. Yeah. That's honestly fair. That's honestly fair. I will not hear any like, ooh, misogyny. Marco knows that Rachel could beat the shit out of him any day, and she would, joyfully. And everybody is like, listen, just chill. Or I guess Jake is like, just chill. Like, sharks don't usually go after dolphins. So I think they're fine. I think it's fine. Ugh, and Marco is getting like phantom pains from the last time a shark almost fucking destroyed him. Oh god. So Marco is like, yeah, actually fuck this. I am leaving. I'm leaving. And they're like, wait, it's fine. It's fine. He's like, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. But unfortunately, when he turns around to leave, there's more. There's 4 more. And so he runs away. Cassie yells to run for shore because they're probably not going to be followed into shallow water. But like clearly something is up with these sharks. Like 14 are hammerhead sharks. Do hammerhead sharks? I'm pretty sure they're solitary. Are hammerhead sharks solitary? Like I'm pretty sure. Oh, they can be, but they can also be social in large groups like schools. I still don't think that they're being normal, but that's good to know. Oh, I like that they have friends. I like that they have little communities. I love hammerhead sharks. I think they're so beautiful. One time me and Anne went to an aquarium in New Jersey and they had a hammerhead shark, which is very rare, and it was so beautiful. It's so, the way that they swim, it's just, they're so elegant. I love them. That's our son. That and big turtle. We saw a big turtle also too. We really like big turtle. Whoop, but they're cut off by 2 of the big hammerheads trying to get to the shallow water. They're still surrounded. They're like, it's more than 2 to 1 right now. Okay, so they're targeting one single shark. And the shark tries to attack. He's too slow. So they're beating the shit out of this one shark. And so they're trying to get all the blood from trying to get him blood so that the others will come and eat at him. But that is not happening. They're completely ignoring it. And they're coming after these guys. And Marco says, I knew I was going to die. And worst of all, I knew exactly how it would feel because this has already happened to him. End of chapter. No turning back, no backing down. Chapter 11. So they're planning on just like punching through this wall of sharks. Rachel says don't stop for anything, but the sharks like can see what they're doing. And so they're attacking. It says they're acting like a pack of wolves. This is bad. Marco has the idea of jumping out of the surface because sharks don't jump. So they just go straight up, go to the surface, splashing up and down. But because of this, they're getting pretty far away from the sharks. Like they are able to use this as a way to run away. Not sure if they're going to be able to outrun them. Oh shit. Not sure if they're going to be able to outrun them while hopping. And then also there's a siren going off. Fuck. And the sharks swim away. Do they have like James Bond villain type trained hammerhead sharks? That can't be what's going on, right? That can't be what's going on, right? Is this a James Bond ass type book? What? What?
Hearing you.
I think this is a James Bond ass book. We'll see.
You're getting there.
Oh God. Oh my God. Because you've already read this one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
I've been waiting for you to read this one.
Oh no.
Because, yeah.
Come closer. Get into the mic right now.
Oh, sorry.
It's okay.
I've been waiting for Will to get to this one. Everyone who's read it knows what happens. But I've been waiting for them to get to this Marco book, so...
Oh, God. All right. All right. Okay, and now there's a submarine underneath them. He says... At the back was a cluster of what looked like 3 engines, each a 20-foot-long flattened cylinder like a comical cigar. Come on. Okay, and it's glass? It's glass. So they can, at least like the top of it, so they can see inside 3 decks. All of the decks are transparent. It's got humans, Hork-Bajirs, Taxons, and Ged controllers, and they're just like chilling. There's a command bridge with Hork-Bajir and Taxons and red and yellow computer terminals. He says that it makes him think of Star Trek, because of course it does. Okay, standing beside the chair was a bizarre creature. It had pebbly yellowish skin that seemed slimy, like it was coated with Vaseline. It sat like a frog on big hind legs with webbed feet. But instead of a frog's tiny front legs, this creature had 4 tentacles spaced evenly around its body. Okay. Big head, sat on its shoulders, no neck, face curved outward. So it's got frog head, basically. It's got a frog head. And as the sub is passing beneath, this thing shakes. It says like he was having a slight tremor. And then he turns around and looks directly at them. And looks kind of troubled. And then just kind of shrugs like he's a normal guy. Oh, and then there's a person in the chair, in the captain's chair. And of course, that's Visser 1. And the sub just keeps going. Okay. End of chapter. Okay. Chapter 12. They go home, I guess. And Marco has to do a bunch of homework, and it's 5 pages. How old do I think they are? It doesn't matter. Okay. So they're getting food, and he's just like, no fish. just no fish. And the dad is like, pizza? And he's like, sure, no anchovies. That's all again. So fair. What the fuck? He's supposed to be reading Lord of the Rings for English class? Oh, he chose it. He chose it for a book report. And he's like pissed at himself for picking something so long. Okay, so he's listening to music while he's reading. He's listening to Bob Marley. He got into Bob Marley when he was thinking about growing out dreadlocks for a girl. Don't do that. Don't do that. And he was doing like a Jamaican accent. Don't do that, Marco. And this is not cheering him up. He is not having a good time. He feels really embarrassed to have just run away like that, like twice. Nobody called him out on it, but he's like, he doesn't like that he was scared and ran away. Oof. And then that's all mixing up with his feelings about seeing his mom. And he's talking about how, like, when his mom died, he was in, like, support groups, and he, like, met people, and I guess, he wasn't in support groups, it was just the counselors, but he's, like, meeting people and seeing people on TV. There's, like, representation of dead mom, right? Like, there's you can find community in that, but he no longer has a dead mom, so he's like, I don't even know what the fuck I am anymore. This is so lonely. And then he connects this to, I guess this is what Jake feels when he sits down to eat dinner with Tom, which is fucking crazy. But he says that they don't talk about things like that. Oh no. Oh no. And he says, only Jake and I don't talk about that kind of stuff. Jake's my best friend, but he's my best friend because I'm me, because I'm funny and smart, and I'd back him up anytime, any place. Okay. And he's like, I don't have feelings. I just have funny. So what am I supposed to do? Oh, Marco, honey. This is so emotionally stressful. And he just kind of, like, escapes into fantasies of, like, saving her from the Yerks. And then he asks himself, like, okay, if he saves her from the Yerk, if he, gets it out of her and he holds her captive for 3 days, same as they did with Jake, and he saves her, and then he's like, okay, well, then what, Marco? Then what? Because if you starve Visser 1 to death and take her host body, that's not gonna go well. That's not gonna go well. And then he's like, well, if they tracked her down to me, then they're also going to track down everybody else, all the other Animorphs. This fucking sucks. Oh, I'm way too young to have to deal with this kind of stuff, he yells into his pillow. Oh, me when I was working in international education. Oh, no. Oh. And then he pulls the pillow away from his face, and his dad is in the doorway. And Marco's like, oh, shit, hi. And Marco's dad is like, hi, I knocked. But Marco's wearing his headphones, and he's like, yeah, you want to watch the game with me? And Marco is like, I've got homework. And he's like, okay, you can always talk to me if something is bothering you, right? And Marco is like, yeah, nothing's bothering me. It's fine. Song lyrics. I was thinking of song lyrics. And he is putting all of this weight on his own shoulders. Okay, and he's like, I can't trust him with all of this insane information, but I can go watch the game with him, so I'm gonna do that. End of chapter. Guys, this one's gonna fucking kill me. This book's gonna fucking kill me. No turning back, no backing down. Okay, chapter 13. I'm emotionally scared for me. Okay. So they're meeting up in the woods behind Cassie's farm as usual. And Cassie's like, so those weren't normal sharks. They were being controlled. And like, yes. And Axe is like, no. Sharks can't get yerked. And Marco is like, I don't know, electrode implants. And everybody was like, I don't know. I really think that this is some James Bond shit. I really think that's what's going on here. So they have to go back there. And they're not. Jake and Marco aren't thrilled about this because, again, that's Marco's mom. Yeah, so they're like, okay, so how do we get in there? And Marco and Cassie are like, you're not going to like it. We got to be hammerheads. We got to go get the hammerheads. How the fuck are they going to get the hammerheads? Oh, they have them over at Ocean World. Oh, great. They're going to go to SeaWorld. Is there going to be orcas? Is there going to be belugas? I don't like those either. Oh, okay. And Marco is like, hi. So about that, everybody remembers that we have to be in our human bodies to get those morphs, right? Like our human bodies. by hammerhead sharks. And he's like, but hey, I guess that's fine. Nobody's scared of sharks, right? And Rachel is like, you are. And he just blushes. He's like, yeah, okay. Okay, so they're doing Ocean World tonight, Island tomorrow after school. So they fly over. And he says he's totally comfortable there as a bird, but as soon as he's a person and it's this dark, abandoned water park, he's like, I don't know about this. I guess not water park, an amusement park that is water-based. You understand. It's not an aquarium. It's you understand. And Cassie is like, I don't know how the fuck we're gonna do this. Sharks are not dolphins. They're not gonna want to just come out and play. And Marco is like getting queasy about this. Okay. And Rachel's like, okay, well, why don't we just go beat it up? Which is kind of what I was thinking. Rachel's like, we don't have to be, like, the shark doesn't have to be conscious. It still has DNA and it's not dead yet. So we morphed a dolphin, we beat the shit out of a hammerhead, and then we get it. And Cassie is like, what the fuck? What the fuck? We're not just gonna go beat up a shark. And Rachel is like, people literally eat sharks. And Marco is like, also vice versa. And Jake is like, yeah, this definitely is better than just jumping in the pool with the shark. Marco is like, well, all sharks can die as far as I'm concerned, which I support. And he laughs like it was a joke, but it's not. And Tobias is like, they aren't evil. They're just predators being predators. It's natural. Everybody go watch the PBS Idea Channel video about Attack on Titan. I watched like a season of that show and I hated it very deeply, but that's a great video. And it is about the nature of evil. And I found it very interesting. And Marco's like, okay, so you're on Cassie's side. And he's like, no, I literally am a predator in my main body now. That's just what it is. And finally, Cassie relents. And they are about to get caught by security guards. Tobias up above alerts them. And the one that they find is Axe. And the security guard says, what on earth are you? And Axe says, Prince Jake, what should I do? The guy is calling over a captain. And he is like, get a load of this thing. Ah, shit. And this captain, who I guess we now will know who this is, says, why, that's an Andalite, son. That is certainly an Andalite. Oi, 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 end a chapter. No turning back, no backing down. Okay, chapter 14. Just this one and 15 to go today. Oh, shit. So the guard is like, a what? And Visser 1, I assume, is like, don't fucking move, Andalite. I will shoot you. And these human guns are really fucking dumb. But they will kill you. And the guard is like, Captain, but what the fuck is this? And so she just pistol slaps him, pistol smacks him, pistol whips him. There we go. In the head, and he falls unconscious. God damn. She's like, God, this dude fucking sucks, but it's fine. We're gonna yerk him. It's fine. Oh, it's not Visser 1. Oh. It's just another controller who says, I'm gonna capture these Bandolites, at least one of them, and then I'll be Visser 3's new bestie. And Axe is like, girl, be careful what you wish for. He is obsessed with eating his lackeys. He will kill them before killing anyone else. That's so true. That's so true. Any of his lackeys speak and Visser 3 is like, dead. And the others are like, what do we do? What do we do? Because again, the Yerks, the controllers don't know that the Bandolites are human people. I just drank my second coffee. What the fuck? So they need a distraction. And so Marco just takes it upon himself to stand up and be like, hi, is this the way to the souvenir stand? Meanwhile, Tobias is attacking. Marco grabs the gun and he tries to. oh no, 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 no. He accidentally fires the gun. Oh god, that's very scary. And he his hand goes numb from the impact and he drops it and it fires again. And and now the controller has the gun again. Axe is too far to use his tail on this dude. And so the controller is just firing wildly, and Jake yells to run, so they do. But now more guards are on the way because there was guns, you know? So they're running. Cassie pulls them into a door on the concrete walkway that they're on. She tries to, but it's locked. So Jake asks Axe to open it with his tail, which is all Jake says is Axe, and Axe says, yes, Prince Jake, and knows what he does and does it immediately. So they get in into a plexiglass tunnel surrounded by water. So they're in the shark tunnel. And Marco is like, Marco says, I always wanted to come see this place. And look, no crowds. It's dark, but not completely dark because there's a red exit light. And there's the water coming down from the tank. Oh, and he's scared as shit. He's like, I wish it was dark. So they're under the thingy, and Axe says, now this is an interesting human concept. This hologram makes it almost appear that we are under the water. And Rachel says, it's not a hologram. And he says, then we are underwater, protected only by badly made human plastic? She goes, yeah. And he goes, why do you humans do things like this? I'll get a screenshot of this one. It's just funny. I like when Axe is funny. And a guard is like, freeze, Andalite. Roar. This is bad because they're all being seen with Axe right now. He has his gun pointed at them, but he's not firing. And someone is like, there's kids with him. And he's like, I don't fucking care. Get kids. Forget the kids. Kids break in here all the time. And they're like trapped in there. So Rachel is like, we got to fight back. But they're like, no. And Marco says, Jake, we need something drastic. This is really bad. Oh no. Yeah. This was inevitable. And so Jake says, I'm open to suggestions. And Marco says, I suggest you take a deep breath. And we're going to see just how badly made this human plastic is. And Axe figures out what he's saying. And he swings his tail. And he rips open that plexiglass. Ah, fuck. End of chapter. One more. Okay, last one of the day. Chapter 15. So the water happens. You know, the water happens. Everybody splash and swoosh. And they're, you know, he yells for the others, but then he's completely underwater. And he's like, okay, morph. Okay, morph. Okay, morph. Okay, can't do dolphin because I have to get to the surface and that's not going to work here. Can I be a trout? Can I do a trout? Oh, and then the shark is the shark is heading towards him. And he yells in fear, and that's his air. That's the air. And he's like, well, okay, well, I can't morph a shark I can't morph a fish because the shark's gonna eat either one of us. So he's swimming, he's running out of air, he's going down the tunnel, the shark is following him, but not like in a scary way, just kind of like vibing. He's so fucking scared. He's just trying to get out of there. There is a hole in the tunnel. It is too round. He doesn't like that. Okay, but he's like, where the fuck am I? So he gets out, he puts his head through this hole, and he takes a big breath, and he realizes it's in an air conditioning vent. That's how they ventilate the tunnel. but he can't reach the grill overhead, and he's still in the water. It's just like his head is out, or like the top half of his body. And then he looks down, and the shark is headed towards him. And, okay, he says, I slammed my feet against one side of the shaft, my hands against the other, and pressure walked my way up and out of the water. Uh-huh. No, I get that idea in a vacuum, but I'm very confused as to, okay, hold on. No, I don't know. I don't know how he did that. I don't know what this looks like, but that's okay. He gets out, but his butt is still in the water. And the hammerhead face is looking up at him. He's yelling at the shark to fuck off. He knows he's going to fall back into the water. And the hammerhead is waiting for him. So he's thinking like, okay, he's gonna go into the trance if I get the DNA, even though it didn't when Tobias did it. So I'm just gonna try. And he says, if it turns out you eat me, make it quick, he tells the shark. And he releases his pressure, keeping him up in the air conditioning vent. This is a James Bond-ass book. And he drops into the water onto the shark. And the shark is like, whoa, what the fuck? Hey, what the fuck? And so he knocks the shark downward. They're sinking. And Marco grabs him by the fin. And he's like, please fucking go limp. And he gets the DNA. And the hammerhead is in a trance. We're good. We're good. And let's see. Okay, but he doesn't morph it. But they surface, and they're in one of the tanks. And on the ground outside of the tank, like he's like looking up at the lip of where the tank is. He sees the others, and he's like, "Hey, what's up?" And they're like, "Oh shit, you're fucking alive." And he's like, "Yep, brought you friend." End of chapter and end of reading day. Okay. Okay, chapter 16. New day. Last night I slept for 14 hours. I feel amazing. I feel incredible. So let's do this. Okay, chapter 16. Okay, so as per usual, their hijinks get put in the newspaper. The remaining guard, because there's 2 missing. The remaining guard is talking about Axe, and the aquarium spokesperson is like, I don't know. I'm pretty sure that person was drunk and just shot his gun all over. We don't know. Oh, it's getting national even. CNN sent a camera crew. Can you imagine when this is the kind of shit that CNN would be talking about? Can you imagine those days when there isn't like 800 million billion horrific things happening every day? Anyway, Marco flunked his book report because he did not read that shit. He says he's probably gotten over his fear of sharks, and he says, I mean, it's never a good idea to get casual about sharks. Yeah. Ooh, but he is like really wanting to get back into that shark morph because he says that it is so relentless, so unafraid, so totally without emotion. He's dreaming of it. He's literally dreaming he was a shark. Except he has his own face. Okay, and then there's some terrible thing happening in his dream. He doesn't know what it is. He just keeps thinking, oh man, that's awful. But because he's a shark, he's safe in the dream. And he can remember a woman's voice saying, help me, or sometimes it would say, help him. And he doesn't remember what the terrible thing is. So that's stressful. I don't like when dreams happen in these books. Always something bad happen. Girl, no. Girl, no. So he stays late on Thursday after school to go to the gym, to go into the pool, and he's going to morph the shark in the school pool. That's a terrible idea. And he is talking to himself and saying, this is a terrible idea, and saying, no, it's fine, we'll be careful. And like, oh, you're talking to yourself, idiot. And like, shut up. Him talking to himself. Shut the fuck up, Marco. I can't. Why did this book do this to me? This is just like if I were in the books. I don't want to be in the books. Ew. He says that there's a squishy sound of his bones dissolving because sharks just have cartilage. Ew, I could hear my bones, the bones in my arms, the bones in my legs, my hip bones, even my spine. We're all starting to dissolve. Ew. I could have used this yesterday. My hip was like fully out of place. That would have sounded nice yesterday, but today it sounds gross. Oh shit. Oh shit. So he's morphing and he hears two bullies in the pool. They say, hey, wuss, get out of the pool. And they're threatening to beat him up because he's in the pool, I guess. And Marco is like not terribly afraid because he's sharkening and they can't really see him from above the surface. But he's starting to reverse the morph. And he is yelling at himself for being stupid and doing this, which like, yeah. So he demorphs, and then he's getting beaten up, I guess. I don't understand why they're mad at her for being mad at him for being in the pool. Sorry, I was reading his mom's dead, and yes. Why are they mad at him for being in the pool? Why is this an issue? Why are they there? What's happening? What's happening right now? And they say, oh, he's gonna run away to his mommy. And they're like, oh, his mom's dead. And they're like, no, I bet she just ran off with some other guy. Jesus Christ. And Marco he's like, I should just walk away, but I can see the arteries in his throat. So that's terrifying. And Marco is just like waiting for him to approach so he can attack this guy. And one of the other guys is like, what's going on with him? What the fuck? And then Jake is here and he's like, oh, what's happening? What's happening? And then Marco bares his shark teeth to Jake because he's still got them. And Jake looks at him like, uh-oh. And Jake is like, okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's get out of here. And eventually Jake talks him down. They're leaving and he gets rid of his shark teeth. And then Jake is like, hey, what the fuck? And Jake is like, yeah, maybe you should sit out the next mission. And Marco is like, the fuck I will. End of chapter. Okay, chapter 17, and if I start going, hey, ah, ow, hey, ah, it's because Usador is under my desk, and he is very demanding of attention, by which I mean he will bite my legs. He sucks. I love him. He sucks. So that's, if I start going, ah, ow, ah, that's why. That's why. Okay, chapter 17. So Saturday morning now, after that Thursday, they're going back to Royan Island. Jake is asking Marco if he's all right, and Marco's like, sure, why wouldn't I be all right? And he's like, well, because you're not doing the thing where you tell everybody that this plan is insane and that you hate it and that you think we're crazy. And you usually do that. And Marco is like, so you're telling me it freaks people out more when I don't say we're all gonna die? And he's like, well, yeah. What, Pastina? Are you mad that Usador is here taking attention? Do not apprehend him. Pastina and Usador Pastina really wants to play with Usador. She really wants his affection and his attention, and he fucking hates her. And he is in front of my legs, and she is behind my legs, and he will bull charge her. So I'm terrified, and you're all just gonna be here on this journey with me. Anyway, Marco's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just try to be more entertaining. Sorry. Oh, Marco. And he's like embarrassed to be seen like this in front of Rachel. And Jake is like, Marco, maybe we should be saying what's going on here. Maybe we should be saying what's going on here. And Marco's like, no. No, I don't. I would rather have people hate me than pity me. And Jake is like, nobody hates you. And he's like, yeah, they would pity me. That's what I'm saying. And Rachel's like, okay, are we fucking doing this? And Marco is like, oh, we're doing this and it's so crazy and we're all gonna die. Insane. What are we doing? And he looks back to Jake and he's like, are you happy now? Marco, you're such a bitch. I love him. And now Marco is like really diving into the teasing and joking and exaggerating and being a goofball. He is morphing and he's carrying the two thoughts, I'm going to save you, Mom, and I'm going to destroy you, Visser 1, which is hard because he knows that it's not going to be that easy in either direction. He's talking about how shark skin is rough because it's actually millions of tiny, tiny, tiny teeth. But that is news to me because sharks are actually perfectly smooth from all directions. Uh-oh. So as he's doing this, he falls a little and scrapes on a shell, and there's a few drops of his blood. This line isn't funny, but it made me laugh because it's written the way that I say shit in my stupid way. He says, everything on a shark is triangles. That's so funny to me. I gotta just pull that quote. No. No bites. He can't even fucking hear me. He's deaf, too. It's a fucking mess. Usador, I love you so much, but do you have to suck? Oh, great. And now these two. Can y'all be normal? Can we not have a showdown around Mama? I don't have time for you two. Okay. So he morphs the shark and he feels his fear and anger leave him. He's got no emotions. It's just clear. And he just sees him and prey. That's it. Oh. And then he is sensing his own blood. End of chapter. Okay, chapter 18. So he's talking about how sharks haven't evolved in like a gajillion years because they're perfect creatures. Because they are. He's saying that sharks are killing machines. They're so good at killing. And like, yeah, but they're also niceys. I don't like the evil shark propaganda. I don't like it. I had a very good friend who was a poet, and he did a lot of poetry about sharks, and he was a shark conservationist and like was an activist working with them because of the stigma against sharks, because it's like an actual real thing that is damaging to the shark population. No, I miss him. Okay, let's not get sad. Yeah, let's not get sad, I say, reading this fucking book. Are you kidding me? Oh my God. He's talking about like his shark senses, that he can feel the electrical current of fish close by, and he like knows which way north and south was, but without like knowing the words of north and south. Like he can feel the magnetic field of the earth, which is very cool. I love the magnetic fields. He's following the scent trail of, I believe, again, his own blood. And he can't find where the prey is, and he's trying to find the prey. Yeah, you're not going to find it, baby. That's you, and you're a shark now. Oh, it wasn't his foot. It was his hand. My bad. And it seems like everybody is doing this. And so Marco is yelling to the others like, hey, shake it off. The shark brain is taking over. The prey is not there. That was my blood. That was my blood. There's no prey around. And Tobias is the first to snap out of it. And Marco's like, yeah, that makes sense. He says that they'd all kind of gotten cocky about controlling morph brains, but this one is new and different. Oh, Jesus. He says, it, being the shark, knew what it wanted, and there is terrible strength in knowing what you want and having no doubts. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. This game just, I mean, not game. Oh my God. This book just keeps coming for my ass. Real bad. Mozzarella is now perched on me. I don't know if you can hear him purring really loudly. We're going, meep, meep, meep. That's you. I'm being you. But he's here now. Okay, so now they're going back to the holographic facility thingy, looking through the portholes. I don't think that sharks have very good eyes. Am I wrong? I don't think they could. I don't know. So they're swimming past the guard sharks. No problem. And Axe is like, hey, remember that they're psychic. Remember that they're psychic. And Marco is about to make a joke, and then he sees his mom in the office that he's looking at in the porthole. Okay, end of chapter. No turning back, no backing down. Okay, chapter 19. So Tobias is like, okay, so now what do we do? 2 of the hatches are open this time instead of just 1. They're doing eeny, meeny, miny, mo, heads or tails, 1 potato, 2 potato, and Axe is like, what the fuck are you people talking about? And Marco is like, don't worry, it's an advanced human thing. Anyway, middle door, and Jake is like, yeah, sure. So they're not really able to see much above the water. So they're like, okay, well, we need different morphs. Cassie suggests flies. Tobias is like, oh, great, I'm left out again. He doesn't have a fly morph. Okay. So they're debating, like, what they should do, because they're going to have to morph into humans, and then to flies, and then, like, there might be rats, and there's, like, all these... They're debating, and then the alarm goes off again. And the hammerhead sharks, it says there had to be 50 of them. They're swimming right towards them. But then they just keep swimming past, and they hear a door, like a mechanized door opening. This is definitely some James Bond shit. So they're following the sharks, follow them to the far end of the dock. There's a new door open now. And they're like single file waiting to get through the door. Okay. So Tobias is like, is this a shark slaughterhouse? And they're like, no, probably not. And then they're being picked up by some claws. He says it's a conveyor belt of hammerhead sharks all hanging vertically. This is fucked. I don't like this. Human controllers and Hork-Bajir, they are manning equipment, like boards, like pushing buttons and stuff. And it's moving too fast for them to get out of there. Yep. And then there's a needle in the back of Cassie's head. Oh no, the rammies. So Cassie is like, I think it's an immunization. No, this is definitely some radio shit. Because it says the robot arm hesitated. It popped out a sort of metal detector or something, moved it over Cassie's shark head. Then it extruded like a drill. Ew, 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 ew. So it drills into her and then withdrew. And then there's a probe that pokes something in and then withdraws. And then it cauterizes the wound. Vile. With a green laser beam. This is so fucking James Bond. And Cassie says that they injected something right into their brains, and then then the pain is hitting them really hard. Oh. And then a sound reverberates through the water, and then the pain stops, and it's just like a wave of pleasure. Yep. Then they can sense a whole bunch of other things that don't have anything to do with killing and eating. Like they're able to observe other senses. And Marco is like, did the shark just get smarter? And Rachel is like, yeah, like those smart-ass sharks that attacked me. And Cassie is like, yeah, I found myself wondering if there would be prey, but sharks don't wonder. They don't have a concept of the future. So now they're saying that they've done something to mutate the shark brains to make them able to be yerked. And Marco is like, oh, they're making a new form of Hork-Bajir with the sharks because they are dangerous weapons. They want shark controllers. Okay, end of chapter. It's a little less James Bondy than I thought, yerking them instead of the radio control, but come on. I think I get this one. End of chapter. Okay, chapter 20. So now Jake is like, okay, yeah, we gotta get out of the water and figure out what the fuck is going on here. At this point, Marco is like, never mind. I do fucking hate sharks. This sucks. So they're in like an empty room in this facility. Dark ceiling, could hear machinery. There's nobody around. So they're morphing the fly. Oh no. Oh no. So he's morphing, getting really, really, really tiny. And he says that his head was exploding. Literally. Literally. He's like halfway through human and fly. He like is seeing things all crazy because he's got fly eyes. So Marco is telling everybody to demorph immediately. Because they put something in the brains. Was I fucking right? Was I fucking right? Was this a radio device? Yes, it's a control device. I was so fucking right. I was so fucking right. Yeah. Yep. So they're like, okay, so like, what do we do about this? And Rachel is like, we get them out of our heads. Obviously, we will kill everybody. Yeah. This is really bad. This is really bad. And Marco is like, yeah, there's like 100 controllers here. We can't just like, we can't, oh no, not Usador back again to bited me. What? So they're gonna split up, get into 2 teams, get a distraction. I don't know what they're planning on, like how they're, I don't know. I truly don't understand what their plan is here and how they're gonna get these things out of their heads. We'll see. And Rachel is just glad that they're doing something. Okay, end of chapter. Okay, chapter 21. We are squarely in the 20s now. I'm at 76% of this book, which means from here on out, we're gonna get a lot of plot really fast. And then probably a chapter that is boring. It might not be boring. It's probably going to be sentimental and sweet, but we'll have a lot of plot. I just know how these books go by now. Okay, so Marco, Axe, and Tobias are the ones that have the Yerk devices in their heads. So they can't morph into anything small, at least not as small as bugs. So, like, what are they supposed to do? Marco is like, well, we can't be wolves. I don't think that's it. Tobias is back in his hawk body, so Marco is like, I think that we should birds. So he's in his osprey morph, and Axe is a northern harrier, and Tobias is Tobias, and he says, and we were all wet. So they go up to the steel beams towards the roof of the facility. He says that it's like the inside of a Toys R Us store. In my head, it is also like a Costco, Sam's Club sort of situation. Slight curvature to the roof. Makes sense. So they're just perched and looking and watching. There's some taxons doing maintenance work on one of the transparent sub. 2 buildings separated from each other by the center dock. They are identical, windowless, painted white. Smaller buildings around as well. Oh, like, they're like the, oh my God, what do you call them? So they're used for like temporary classrooms. What do you fucking call those? Like the big, like they're like containers, like almost like shipping containers, but they're redone into classrooms. My school had tons of these because it was too fucking big. We had too many fucking students for the size of school that it was. So we had a bunch of these. I don't remember what they're called. or what we called them, at least. And Marco is like, well, I guess it's good that they don't have windows because we could just do all of this and not be seen. So they're going to try to get into one of these two, like, warehouse buildings, not the office. So they're like, okay, well, how do we get in? And Marco is like, incredible timing. They're going to wait until a taxon leaves and then get in that way. And Axe is like, well, what if another doesn't come out? Marco says, don't you Andalites believe in luck? No. Me neither. How about hope? We believe in hope. Oh, and then they're like, okay, well, let's see if it's time for the distraction. And then they hear a roar of a tiger, which is Jake. And so they're like, okay, I guess it's time. So they fly into the building while the taxon leaves. And the taxon is too distracted, so they're not even seen. Whoop, and then they're about to smash into the end of the hallway because they're flying so fast. And they can't, he's like having trouble pulling the brakes, basically. So they're flying through this building at like breakneck speeds, trying to slow down. Tobias is guiding them because he's used to this. Axe hits a desk, Tobias hits the floor, but they can demorph and morph again, you know. Marco's, you know, doing some of his goofy reference talking about the Three Stooges. Tobias is like, human eye sucks so bad. God, I can't believe I lived like this. So they're walking around demorphed. Axe is in his Andalite shape. Tobias is in his human shape. They're trying to like go down this hallway and like look. And they're gonna go towards this door that has a gold symbol. He says it's like a presidential seal. And they're telling Axe to be the lookout so that he can get things with his tail if anybody pops out at any of the doors. And when Marco reaches for the door handle, a voice already is saying, come in. It says, come in, never make me give an order twice. You won't live to hear me give it a third time. And of course, they walk in, and that is Visser 1. Oh, end of chapter. That makes sense. Hoi. No turning back, no backing down. Okay, chapter 22. Marco is saying that she looks the same, but also different because her eyes are so cold. Okay, and he is actually kind of relieved because he has spent so much time wondering when she was turned into a controller, like if the loving mother that he knew had been a controller the whole time. And now he knows that no, that's not the case, because she looks different. And of course, he's also like doubting himself and saying, well, yeah, she's among her fellow Yeerks, so she's just not putting on an act now. He's kind of, again, like arguing with himself here. Oh my God. And she says, I was expecting 4 new technicians. Where are the other 3? Man, I thought she was going to have the psychic here and be like prepped, and this was going to be a shit show. And Marco is just like, oh, the other 3, I think Visser 3 killed them for doing something wrong. And he's like, that's the dumbest shit I've ever said. But it completely works. She buys it. She's like, God, he's so fucking stupid. I hate Visser 3. And she says, we're having a bit of a problem with the Andalite bandits because Visser 3 is completely incompetent and still hasn't gotten them. Geez. Oh, geez. Oh, geez. Oh, no. Oh, God. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay. Okay. She says, so all Marco can do is nod right now. And she says, I see. Obviously, your host mind is giving you some trouble. I'm sure you are aware that your host body is the biological son of my own host body. And she says this completely emotionlessly. And he's like, yes, Visser, just nodding, trying to play it as cool as he can. And she's like, yeah, you got to learn how to keep that shit on lock. My own host is in here like screaming and crying and wailing. And I just don't let it bother me. So you should be doing the same? And he's like, yeah, I'll try to do the same. Oh my God. Ah. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. That's brutal. That's brutal. Oh, okay. And Marco is like fuming, of course. And then there's a big wham of something being slammed against the outside wall of the building. Marco says that he's picturing a Hork-Bajir thrown by a rampaging elephant. Visser 1 is like unflappable. She's like, okay, I guess I'll go out and handle this. And she confirms that they're trying to make 1,000 shark controllers ready for use on Lyra within 2 months. Oh, shit. Because the Lyra are amphibious. Is she just going to go, like, wipe them the fuck out? She basically says... okay, I'm gonna go wrap up this shark thing. I don't feel like dealing with Visser 3, and he's definitely on his way here. God, I wish those Andalites would just fucking kill him. Meanwhile, Marco is like wishing that he could be like, Mom, I love you. I'm fighting them. It's okay. I'll save you. I'm having a good time now, though, thinking about her being like, God, I wish they'd fucking kill this guy. Which is good, because that was really sad, and I had a lot of feelings. And then she leaves. And luckily, Axe and Tobias are gone, so she's not gonna get Axe killed, which is good, asterisk. Oh, okay. So then he is looking through the porthole, and he sees, like, a huge, colossal snake, but, like, big, bright yellow, and it's coming straight for the facility. This is definitely Visser 3 in a morph. End of chapter. Okay, chapter 23. Marco ducks into a side door as he follows Visser 1 out, and there's Axe, and Axe is, like, immediately his tail blade is on Marco's throat, and he's like, hey, could you not? Could you not? And Axe and Tobias are like, we were trying to figure out if we should go in and rescue you or join the fight outside. Oh, they accessed the computer, but he entered before they could find anything. Okay, wow. That's lucky that they happened to find the central computer. And it looks just like a boring office. They hear the commotion outside. Tobias says they should go help, and Marco is like, we cannot be helping them right now. And Visser 3 is coming. There's more Hork-Bajir. It's going to be like a whole deal. And Axe is like, there's no way he could have gotten down here in time for a rescue mission. And Marco is like, honestly, I think it's just a really shitty coincidence. Okay, so they're looking through the computer. Axe says they are invading Lyra, and it's not going well. And okay, so they're not doing stealth, they're just going to do invasion by force, which is why they're getting the sharks. This makes sense to me. This is kind of what I was thinking, that, like, at this point, it's going to be like a, like, holding you hostage situation. Work with us or you will be killed violently. Yeah, Tobias is, like, really anxiously trying to get to the fight. So he's like, okay, let's go. But Marco is trying to get more information. The only way they're going to be able to get rid of these implants is if the facility is completely destroyed. Axe figures that the way that they keep the water out of just, like, flooding this facility is force fields. And he reaches the controls, and Marco is like, can you just turn off the force fields? And Axe is like, can I? Can I? And Tobias is like, hey, if you just let the water in, we're all gonna be killed. And Marco is like, okay, can you give us a 5-minute delay? And Axe is like, yeah, okay. And Tobias is like, okay, well, like, I guess we better morph fast. End of chapter. Chapter 24. Oh, I mean, he's still an Andalite morph. I don't think he ever humaned. Scene of destruction. I mean, shit's fucking crazy out there. Rachel is grizzly morph right now, not elephant. Interesting. I guess that makes sense. She really loves grizzly morph, and it will fucking wreck you. Ugh. And Visser 1 is just sauntering into the battle, kicking wounded Hork-Bajir, totally chill. They're like rallying behind her. She's so hot. She's so hot. They're getting into the fight, and Marco is like, no, you don't need to attack Visser 1. It's fine. Don't even worry about Visser 1. I got Visser 1. He says, I drove my canned ham-sized gorilla fist. What? Like Spam? Spam cans are like normal person size fist, right? What? I can't. No, I can't spend time on figuring out what the fuck that means. Okay. Marco's left arm gets cut by a Hork-Bajir. Ooh, Visser 1 is like, ooh, yay, kill it. They're all ganging up on Marco now, and he's like, bitches, I'm a gorilla. He's smashing Hork-Bajir together. And then it's just him and Visser 1. She's like, if you surrender peacefully, I'll let you live. And Marco obviously can't say anything because he needs to keep up the appearance that they're all Andalites. Oh, geez. And he's like, I also can't talk because if I start, I'll never be able to stop because I haven't been able to talk to her in so long. And I think so often about what I would want to say to her and what I want to tell her. Oh, shit. Yeah, shit. Ah, shit. Yeah, shit. No, fuck, shit. No. Ah! So the Lyran controller is there. And it does the psychic shit, which Marco says is even like, it feels deeper than thought speak. And he's like, girl, no, that's not an Andalite. That's a human. Fuck. And she's like, no, stupid, you dumb fucking idiot. It's a gorilla. They're kind of like humans, but it's an Andalite in a gorilla morph. They're not humans. They're just similar. And Lyran is like, no, but then Marco is like, okay, good timing, punch the shit out of this guy. And then here's Visser 3. The two of them are having a bitch off. It's awesome. They're so bitchy. Yay, I love when these two talk. Marco says, it was bizarre. You have to understand that there was a huge roaring battle going on between my friends and the Hork-Bajir, and I was standing there having just punched out a Lyran, but all the two Vissers seemed to care about was trashing each other. Politics. I guess it's the same everywhere. And then there's an alarm and a voice saying that the containment seals are going to shut down in 3 minutes. Countdown is beginning. And the countdown is like, have a nice day at the end of it. And he's like, okay, I need to get out of here. He wants to laugh, but it's too stressful. End of chapter. We're at 90%. No turning back, no backing down. Chapter 25, 90%. Mr. 3 is like, haha, water's rushing in and you're stuck in a human body. Oh no. Oh no. No. Oh no. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No, no, no. The Rammies just hit me. No, 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 no. There is, oh God. Oh no. Oh no. So Marco originally thought that his mom drowned to death. Then he found out that she's okay. Now, he's the one who had the idea of flooding this place with water. She's stuck in the human morph of his mom. Is he going to be the reason she drowns for real this time? I would say that's too fucking dark, but I know these books. Hold on, I gotta sit with this for a second. That's fuck. That's fucking fuck. This is fucked. This is fucked. Okay, I'm gonna keep reading and hope that I'm not right. And dude, I don't even know. I just gotta keep reading. Oh my God. I'm so stressed out. Okay. So they meet up with the others, and Rachel is like, nice of you to drop by, Marco. Jake asks if he's okay. Marco is like, obviously not, but we have to get out of here. Visser 3 is attacking them. He's about to attack Axe. Axe is dodging. And he's like, I'm not very sneak upable. Don't worry. Recording keeps saying, have a nice day. Visser 3 almost bited Axe, but then Grizzly Rachel gets him. Oh shit. And she's thought speaking to Visser 3, and she says, let him go or I'll rip you in two. Fuck yeah, fuck yeah, fuck yeah. And Visser 3 stops, and he says it's a standoff. And Visser 3 is like, okay, let's negotiate. Let's negotiate. And then Marco says, negotiate this. And Gorilla punches him in the face. and he slithers back into the water, mostly unconscious. Ooh. Cassie shows up, wolf morph, she's looking pretty rough, and she says Visser 1 is here. Rachel is pissed that he didn't kill her, and so she's like, okay, I'll do it. And Jake is like, Marco, you know what they're gonna do. And Marco's like, I do. And he's like, what do you do? Or it's your call. And he's like, yeah. And Marco says, okay, Jake, you, Cassie, and Tobias morph. I have to go and do, I don't know. Because Rachel and Axe are the ones headed towards the door going after Visser 1. And Jake says, do what's right. Forget about what anybody thinks. Do what's right. And he says, I'm a comedian. All I know is what's funny and what isn't. Fuck. This book's gonna kill me. So, while writing the notes, I literally just realized that I am right now on the second to last chapter. I'm fucking terrified. I'm so nervous. I am scared to keep reading, but it is my job. So let's go. Okay. So they are in her office. She's behind her desk. She's shooting at them with a Dracon beam. Ooh, yikes. She burns a, quote, neat semicircle out of Rachel's right shoulder. Yeesh. Axe gets her arm a little and she drops the Dracon beam. And Rachel is on her. Rachel is Grizzly Bear. This is very stressful. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. Oh, God. And before Rachel can kill her, Marco yells no. He says, don't do it. Axe is like, she's a Yerk Visser, and he is like, nope, that is my mom. And he's thought speaking only to Rachel and Axe, of course. And Rachel is like, your mom is dead? And he's like, no, I wish, or I guess I don't. I thought, not I wish, I thought. But this is bad. This is her. This is, maybe she'll be my mom again one day if she lives, but okay. So Rachel, reluctantly puts Visser 1 down. And Axe is like, Marco, she is a danger. And he's like, I don't know, maybe she's not. So Marco says if Visser 3 sees them sparing Visser 1's life. He's gonna interpret that as her being a traitor. And this will be all the evidence that he needs to prove that. Rachel is now apologizing, and Marco is telling her to shut up because he doesn't want her to be nice at him right now. It's gonna take Axe like 10 minutes to bypass the computer terminal. Whoop! And then Visser 1 is back up, and she's got the Dracon beam, and she's pointing it at Rachel. They're too far to get her. Ooh. Oh, and he throws a chair at her. Oh, and the chair hit the window. Okay. The glass is not shattered, but it is cracked. Oh, God. But the water pressure is intense. So the water is already starting to spray through. Ah, fuck. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. So it's about to flood. Marco is like, I have to save her. And they're like, we have to fucking run. The window explodes inward. There's water in here like crazy. He's knocked off his feet. The suction draws Visser 3 in. They're being, like, blown through the facility by the water through this huge, like, tidal wave because of the pressure. He sees Visser 1 floating face down 100 yards away, he says. He can't get to her. He morphs into human. He sees the Lyran swimming after Visser 1. And he doesn't know why. And he starts morphing into the shark. Okay. End chapter, I guess. Okay. No turning back, no backing down. Okay, last chapter. This is the first one that I'm dreading finishing this one. I'm so stressed out. I'm sure, I don't know. Usually these end chapters are like comparatively chill. I don't know. I'm so stressed. So the hammerhead sharks were waiting for them, the ones that are being controlled by the chips or whatever. And Marco is like, all right, cool. And so they're fighting. He's like kind of thrilled to be fighting. And Jake is like, Marco, fucking stop. And Marco is like, and Jake is like, Marco, oh my God, stop. And he lets a shark body slams into him, a different one, and the shark he was on swims away and does not seem interested in fighting. So Marco turns towards the shark that knocked into him, about to fight, and Jake is like, no, that is me. That is me. That is me. They are no longer controlled. They are escaping the facility. Let's get the fuck out of here. And Marco's like, okay. This facility is like super exploding. They see Visser 3 escape. Okay. So he feels the chip being liquidated. And they kept using this word. And I was like, do they mean... Because like when I think liquidated, I don't think liquefied. I think that those are different things. But what they mean is definitely liquefied. Not like a closing furniture store. They're being liquefied. Ugh. And Tobias is like, well, hopefully at least Visser 1 died. Because he doesn't know yet. Jake and Axe just do not respond to that. And he knows that Jake is going to tell Cassie, or Rachel is going to tell Cassie, and they're going to tell Tobias, and he says that he's crying as well as any shark could, that his heart is ripping apart. And he's like, I lost her again. I fucking lost her again. Unless, maybe the Lyran saved her. Unless. And now he knows that, like, the others are gonna know and everything's gonna be different. But then, they hear the sub. Marco, none of them see it. So Marco just figures that Rachel is lying to give him some hope to cling to that she escaped. And Marco is like, thanks, Xena. And she's like, you're welcome. And oh, no, she doesn't say you're welcome. He says if she'd said you're welcome, he would have known it was a lie. But what she does say is, thanks for what? For hearing that sub? For paying more attention than you, Marco? So probably Rachel is telling the truth. And she's ribbing him pretty hard, and it's making him laugh. He says, I don't mind when the jokes are at my own expense as long as they're funny. Yeah, you and me both, buddy. You and me both, buddy, I say after reading this fucking book. God, and now he's like, if I knew she were dead, I could just move on. I could just be a normal person. I could just be sad and grieve, and then it would be done. But if she's still alive, then I am still trapped. I'm still trapped in all of this, and I'm going to have to try to save her. This book was made in a lab to hurt me. He's picturing a future where she's free and she lives, and he can be talking about this all with her and his dad. And he says, it was my mom who taught me that the world was funny, and if she was alive, we'd maybe still get that day in the future to sit down and laugh together. And he says, Jake asks if he's fine. He says, I'm fine, Jake, and I'll be better when she's free again. And that's the end of the book. Wow, I didn't get the typical Animorphs resolution here even a little. Wow. I really loved this one. This one hurt me really bad. I'm gonna have to sit with this one for a little while. Okay, bye!